All right, let's bring in Jason Johnson, politics editor for TheRoot.com. So we've been reporting that one demographic that Clinton is struggling with is white males, and the Trump campaign will remind people that he's doing very well in that area. How does Tim Kaine offer an assist in that department for her?
I mean, because there's a white male on the ticket. I mean, it's essentially identity politics at this point. I think it's almost simplistic to say that Trump appeals to white males. He appeals to a certain kind of white male, men who tend to be Republican, men who seem to have had difficulties in the job market.
He likes to call himself that blue-collar billionaire.
Yeah, he's that blue-collar billionaire. But the thing is, there's a stereotype that it's uneducated working class. No, I know lots of white guys who are college educated and beyond. There are billionaires who support Donald Trump. But Tim Kaine gives them someone else who they can identify with, someone else who can speak, who's a governor, who can talk about bringing jobs, and that helps Hillary Clinton with perhaps white men who are like, I don't know if I want to vote for a woman, but she's got this guy with her.
As it pertains to his track record, Tim Kaine, I'm talking now, he's also, I guess, been credited with being kind of someone who appeals to an urban environment as a former mayor of Richmond, yet at the same time, the district in which he represents as a U.S. senator, he appeals to, you know, a cross-section of people, white and black, you know, suburban, urban. It would seem that is advantageous. It would seem the Clinton campaign thought about that as they made their selection for him. Well,
it's not just that, but also it's that Tim Kaine has a little something that maybe perhaps Sherrod Brown didn't have, which is he knows diversity in a wider scale. You know, Sherrod Brown, the Ohio senator, I mean, everybody loved him. He's great. He's exciting. But Tim Kaine, it's also Northern Virginia, where you have Asian Americans and Arab Americans and Latino Americans, poor, rich, upper middle class, and urban. Tim Kaine is from the epitome of the purple state, and his advice, and he's quoted as saying his candid advice to Hillary Clinton is something that her campaign desperately needs.
Yeah, Virginia, surprisingly, you know, became Obama country, a place that was very much red for a very long time. But it can't be presumed this go-round for Clinton. Why is the dynamic different for her?
Well, the dynamic is different for her because she's Hillary Clinton, and she's very unpopular with large swaths of people. There are people who don't like her for her husband scandals, people who want change, people who have problems voting for a woman. There's a slew of things that she faces. There's also this, and I think this is, we saw this at the Democratic National Convention as opposed to, say, the RNC. She's not Obama. You know, and Barack Obama can give a closing speech that has people in tears, and Hillary Clinton is happy if she can get people out of their seats. So she's running up against also a very popular sitting president, and it's hard for her to recreate that level of excitement.
And now this hacking issue, the cybersecurity, it would seem it would make her even more vulnerable because there's some mystery now shrouded on what could WikiLeaks possibly have, and why is it that that database that the Clinton campaign had access to would be the area that's breached.
Yeah, look, Fred, I have a very different take on this whole thing. I think this is a national security issue that both parties, and I'm glad, I believe it's Senator Congressman Paul Ryan, Speaker of the House, said this. This is a national security issue. We don't want the Russians getting involved in our elections at all. And I think,
which is why it could really backfire for Donald Trump, who is seizing on this opportunity.
Exactly.
But wait a minute, why would you want to advocate this happening to any American citizen?
Exactly. And I think that's how the Clinton campaign, they've been trying to spin it that way later on in the week. Look, the conventions are over. It doesn't matter if she said, I don't like Bernie Sanders. This is a bigger issue of, are we going to let a foreign entity that Donald Trump is playing footsie with under the table affect how Americans want to vote?
All right, Jason Johnson, good to see you.
Thank
you so much. All right, be sure to